do that
It's actually released Thursday night or Friday.
for Friday's payroll. So they can actually deposit it.
We actually prepare that whole file and send it usually,
It's usually about 10 days before the payroll date,
Right.
and then we go in and it's released no less than 2 days prior to the pay date, so like Wednesday.
But are our staff getting the advantage of the 3 days, or are we taking advantage as a payroll company for the 3 days to gain interest?
we are the payroll company.
I know that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
are we
So
taking
they
the
might
3
get
days?
it in their account Thursday night for Friday payday.
And they actually get it on Friday, they don't get it on Monday?
The difference, no, it's for Friday, they actually can get it on Friday.
Okay.
And the difference between, when he's saying between Thursday night and Friday is credit unions versus banks.
Correct.
Because the credit unions don't have that 3 o'clock, we're gonna change over.
Correct, right. And that's where, well,
And
it's
in our-
important. So in our payroll, it's significant.
You know, our payrolls, our contracts with the unions say they get paid on Friday, so it has to be available Friday.
Right, and that's what I wanted to make sure that they should get their
And we
money
also
on
have
Friday.
everyone's direct deposit.
Right.
For the first check.
Yes.
I was surprised that when we do our payroll, we were actually advised to take advantage of that as a business. And I said, no, just give the guy those money. Make sure it's available by noon so they can go at lunchtime and go get their money.
Right.
And there's an advantage to that. And it's respect for the people that are your staff and employees. I wanted to make sure that we were not floating that float. Okay.
I don't want a union grievance.
Right. I agree. And I'm glad it's within their contract too, which is nice. I gotta get a copy. I think I'm still waiting for a copy of that.
Somebody that would work second shift, they wanna go to the bank in the morning Friday, they can go
Bill
9 o'clock to
contracts.
the bank.
Yeah, I know. I have this,
The solicitors, I know, I'm trying to
Right.
find that
Payday, I'm looking
1990
at
one.
7 o'clock in the morning, it's in there.
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
First thing I do, I pour my cup of coffee, is my payroll in my, is
And
it in
it's
my
there, just
account?
to make sure, exactly. And it's there.
and one last question is, did you go out to anyone other than TD?
I talked to Machant, they cannot offer the positive pay. I had a call in to BB&T, their cash management's at 1.2%,
Right.
which is similar. Jim Thorpe does not do the Act 72 that's required.
Okay.
And that's a problem with a lot of small banks, they can't deal with the government Act 72 regulations where they have to, since you're only insured the 250, we're basically, you want to call it reinsurance or whatever, but they're buying treasuries or government bonds to cover the other, whatever you have in the bank. So if the economy goes belly up and everyone goes under, you got your 250 plus, you probably get 98% of the rest because that's what treasuries will probably sell for.
Right.
And a lot of smaller banks, if they are managing funds, they're using things like seeders to invest your funds, and that means that they're taking funds and spreading them out in a number.
I'm not too worried about a bank not making 1.9% in the current environment. I don't think that's gonna be the issue. I appreciate you guys coming out and making the effort in the thing. Both of you guys are in Allentown area. You said you're down by
No, I
Council
live
Rock?
down in Newtown, Bucks County.
Yeah, very familiar with it. And where do you live at? You're out. Excellent. That's great.
Any other questions? Well, if you do, well, our pleasure. Like I said, you have my cell phone number, you have Greg, you have our phone numbers, you have our email. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, or maybe if you want to, you can funnel them through Brian, you can feed them all to us. And we'll come back as soon as we can with any answers.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Great, thank you. Have a good night.
Take care. Drive safely.
Keep Tina happy. It's all matters, right?
Pardon?
Keep Tina happy. I know.
Well, my question out there out of the room, I wanted to show.
And you know I'm a stickler.
I've been
Oh,
looking-
yeah, keep it, yeah. I would
I've been
completely agree.
looking for months to try to get a better, more security, after the fraud we had. I really believe in positive pay, but what I did find out as well, Legos BB&T has positive pay, but they don't have the positive pay that also covers the name. They just send in the amount check, the check number. And they actually had a bunch of checks stolen, and someone copied them and put new names on them. And banks cleared them because Positive Pay had the check number and the amount. And they caught it like 20 days later. The bank made it whole, but it still was a problem and a big mess there, where the TD has the Positive Pay that you also send the name of the payee, so it actually looks for the payee's name instead of just the check number, date, and the amount. And I think it's going to get worse as time goes on with people trying to defraud the government and, you know.
But even if BB&T had the same Positive Pay, it's not cost effective at 1.2, now if you can get 1.9, why would you
Right.
make that change and go through all that trouble?
So I wanted to talk to you, we still got some more things to work out, but would you want us to go forward and bring a full proposal back to the board?
Were you able to check any of the references?
I can have Tina check, my know most of the people dealt with them, that's one of the reasons I called them.
I recognize half the names, right?
Yeah. You know, it's, Bob, Tina called, because I've dealt with TD before, and I had nothing bad to say about it.
Were they part
know
of,
about the fob, you know, you have to worry about the fob going bad, because that number, and the one thing you wait till it changes the number, and then you key it in, because within a minute, that number changes, and if you don't key it in that time, the other end of the bank is looking for a different number. And if you have 3 bad numbers, it locks you out. You have to call and get a reset.
Yeah, that's the way it worked when we had PNC. So there's another large bank corporation, and I know there's a branch right up here, but I'll be honest, the little bit that I dealt with TD, they are better to work with than PNC was. They were a little bit.
did you work with them with the old district?
I did.
You did, yes, I figured, because I recognize some of the names.
Yeah, I did. You know, there was fraud galore. I mean, I had people that photocopy their paycheck on a color copy, go to one branch and try to cash it the other one. You know, and that's why we put in this type of protection.
As far as I'm concerned, Ryan and Tina, it will make it more secure, and obviously we get a better rate of return. I'm fine with it, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, just the rate of return, we're probably looking at close to 100,000 more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy.
I think what you tell me,
Services
Andy,
are not chunk.
what do you say, that's a third of a mill on the table there?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the services in that chunk, but we've got to look at getting the best rate of return. And that's silly to put it out there just because you like somebody.
Exactly.
So you're suggesting we can reduce the taxes by a third of the mill if we make this change?
We got, I'm not saying that, I'm saying that we have contracted salary increases coming up, and we can reduce having to worry about raising taxes to cover those. You knew that was coming.
I asked
You
the
knew
question.
that was coming, right?
I asked the question,
All
all
right.
right, ask the next one, go ahead.
Okay. So do you want Tina and I to continue work with them and come back with a full proposal to the board?
Yes.
Okay. I figured that will probably be for the November meeting.
Okay.
All right. Georgia's transportation bills, daily runs. We had a couple for August that just came in, and then we had roughly 19 days in September. If you notice, we did redact the homeless names. Are these okay to pay? Any questions?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, our usual runs.
All right.
Are they gonna still have a meeting with George's at some point?
Yeah,
When's that scheduled?
I think they're talking November, because they're finally, I guess, getting the times and everything down that, you know, actually what, the last thing I heard, instead of just picking up 6 buses and the time at the bus lot there, they also have 3 or 4 in the front, it's actually moving them a lot faster. You
With the amount of time that people are waiting in between, we wanted to make sure we have that addressed before winter time gets here for the
Yeah.
kids.
know,
So early November,
I'm hoping.
okay.
At least that's what I heard. But they are going smoother. I think the kids are actually, they remember the bus numbers now. So,
It's all about routine.
yes. The other thing I asked Tina is she would go over the tax collect, carbon count, what's TCC stand for?
Tax Collection Committee.
Tax
And
collection.
there it should technically be CCTCC, Carbon County Tax Collection Committee.
Okay.
8 or 9 years ago, the state changed how earned income tax was collected. You know, when the employer withholds your local income tax to a countywide basis. So every county had to create this tax collection committee. And you guys periodically appoint the delegate, the voting delegate, which happens to be myself, to that committee. And it was quite a process, ironing out all the bylaws and such with that. I wasn't directly involved with that because the previous business manager had been involved with that. But in a nutshell, with the TCC, right now, things are working very smoothly with the TCCs throughout the state. Where, you know, wherever you happen to live, if you don't work and live in the same district where I, you know, live in Palmerton. So our payroll person sends all of our payroll to Berkheimer, which happens to be the company that the Carbon County Tax Collection Committee has contracted with to handle all of the EIT. So just taking my taxes to, you know, as an example, Lehighton School District, as an employer, sends their funds to Berkheimer for that. Berkheimer has their database, and they then have to send that, because I file my earned income tax return to Palmerton School District. So they have to send that to Palmerton School District. When I was an auditor before I worked for the school districts, and I audited school districts, we would go around and we audited not only the districts, but their tax collectors and Berkheimer. And we saw a lot of these tax offices before the countywide thing where money just sat there because they didn't know where to send it. The money just sat there. Well, we don't know if that person's address is really valid. 2 of these addresses come up throughout the state, so we're not really sure which county it's in, which district, and there were a lot of inefficiencies. So creating this countywide collection system really has streamlined things, and that